welcome back. Yeah, we've been back after quite a long absence. It's been about a year, I would guess. It's probably about a year.
14 months, I think.
Yes.
But
welcome back to Film
counting.
Focus, new and improved. I'm Fred Black.
I'm Anthony Squire.
And we're now looking at cinema releases now, because last time we did the show, we did DVD releases.
Yeah, 4 films a week after a while.
Four DVD
excessive.
films. Yeah, we kind of ran out of things to watch, so we were watching loads of random rubbish. But now, all the films we review from now on are being released in the cinemas as soon as we can see them.
Yeah, as soon as they come out, really.
I mean, you know, next week we've got two brand new
don't
releases.
tell me, Pacific Rim.
Ah, come on! I want to talk about that film already. But that's next week's show. But this week, we decided to watch two films that they've been out for quite a while, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're still doing the rounds. So we'll start off with Now You See Me, which is the magician heist thriller. So, Anthony, what do you think?
It's basically about an FBI agent and an Interpol agent hunting down four magicians who, during their TV shows, raid banks. The first half of the film was really good. It moved at a really good pace.
Yeah, I like. It's saying like it is. It's a good pace, as you say. I'm not really sure how to kind of describe it, but yeah, like four magicians who rob a bank. They rob a bank in their first show, and then they say like, "Oh, we got 2 more shows to come," and you know,
and they give money to the audience.
Yeah, they give the money to the audience, and they're thinking, you know, they've got this. You know, they've got the Interpol agents, and they've also got this magician, this former magician in the form of Morgan Freeman, who is now debunking magicians worldwide. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those films.
I mean, the second
half... It was
half,
really good to start with. You're thinking, oh, this could be really interesting. Where's it going? Where's it going?
But the trouble is, it doesn't really
go
anywhere. The second half just... It makes it too complicated for its own good.
I was trying to explain it to people at work, and they were saying, oh yeah, what was it like? It's like the Saw films. Not in the sense that it's overly violent, but the sense that, especially like the first Saw film, you've got all these convoluted plot strands that don't really seem to add up. Like, you've got all these sorts of things that don't add up, and then the last 20 minutes of the film or so, it explains everything. And then you just gone, okay, I've got the picture now, that's clever, yes, but I'm not really that impressed.
I wasn't impressed with it. Louis Leterrier, he's done better films. Transporter 2, The Incredible Hulk.
Really? Those are both his? Okay. So, yes, he has done much better films.
I mean, Louis, come on, man.
But I was talking to my friend about this the other day, and apparently, like, all the magic tricks they do in it, or they do in it, obviously they don't really perform them, but apparently they are theoretically possible. So, you know, it's interesting to look at from that respect, but, you know, some of the stuff they do is completely insane some of the time, so... But, I don't know, like, the overall result you get from this film is a bit kind of ho-hum, I guess. I walked out thinking, I was entertained, but I wouldn't want to go see it again. Would you?
I kind of wish I hadn't seen it to begin with.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't... I wouldn't rush back. If someone was to say, you know, I'm going to see...
It's almost like the director... or the editors lost interest halfway through.
I mean, the actors certainly didn't. I mean, the actors, they're getting paid shit tons to do this, so they're obviously going to be like, oh yeah, we really love this film. But, I don't know, watching it, it's like you've seen it all before, really.
Yeah.
Did you not get that feeling? Like, you've seen everything they've done before? Not with the magic trick stuff, obviously, all like nice pretty effects and stuff, but it just, I mean, it's all been done before, and it's been done much better. Which is a bit of a droll way to start the show off, really. Like, welcome back. We're talking about a boring film.
No, we're just being straight up and honest with you.
Well, that was a bit sinister. Like, we're being straight up and honest. That's a bit sinister. Just straight dead into the camera. We're just being straight up.
Moving on.
But yeah, like, I don't know. You've got Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Isla Fisher. They all give good performances. Michael Caine as well. I mean,
Morgan Freeman.
It's a good cast. It's a good script. It's, you know, good direction. Everything is well polished. It looks good, but the overall result just kind of borders on the average. Like, I mean, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
I thought it was just a little bit above the average mark, but nothing to really warrant it.
It was only really the magic tricks that saved it for me.
Yeah, I mean, you have the charm of Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg really pulling it through. Isla Fisher. This is the one complaint I had about it. Like Isla Fisher and what was the other guy? I wrote his name down.
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco. Yeah, they kind of felt like they were pushed into the background.
Dave Franco did, especially.
Yeah, like they weren't really. I mean, they were kind of central to the plot in the fact you felt you needed 4 characters to be able to pull off this heist, all these heists they were doing. But other than that, there wasn't really anything there for them. Because everything else was focused on Jesse and Woody. Yeah. Jesse Eisenberg and Woody. Because, they can bring charm and, a lot of character to it.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing else I can really add to that.
Oh, the police officer was good though, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
He was good, and it's just really annoying when you have a film that you come out and you're just like, I don't really know what to think about it. It
just felt rushed.
There was a little bit of that in the end, yeah.
The first half, it moves at a good pace. The characters get established. Didn't waste too much time doing that. And then the second half, especially towards the end, it just had a.
Yeah, just like. Why bother, really?
Yeah, it's just like, we've been paid to do this, but...
They did kind of... I feel they did skimp out on the ending as well. Like, the ending could have been a lot more solid and a lot more kind of... Not believable as such, but, satisfying, really. Yeah. I left that film going, they kind of copped out on that one. Because you can do the big reveal and, the big... It is a big twist ending, let's be honest. It's a twist ending.
Yeah, don't tell them the twist.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell them the twist, no, not like your first episode blunder.
I didn't.
You did! But yeah,
moving on.
I was just not that impressed with it. It's like, okay, yeah. You kind of watch it thinking, expecting something more.
I was expecting a big, not battle, or obviously not battle, a big climax I was expecting, but it just didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
It was almost as if the writers were just... Hey, say this.
Just like, where's our next paycheck coming from? But yeah, anyway, 6 out of 10 from me because
5 out of 10 for me.
I tell you to watch it. It's entertaining. If you got nothing else to see, really.
If there's nothing else on, and you still want to go to the cinema, then
go watch it. But you're not going to come out thinking this is the movie that changed my life.
But I don't think about any movie.
There are some. Classic films like Psycho and stuff. You think, that's changed the way I watch films and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's
it changed your life.
No, I kind of phrased that a bit wrong. But anyway, we will quickly move on from Now You See Me, and we will go straight on to the trailers of the week. Keep doing our trailer thing, and we got all these off Apple.com, and actually mainly most of these came off Empire this week, Empire Movie Magazine. And we're going to start off with your favourite of the week.
Frankensteins Army. Set in the 1945 setting. I mean, last year we had Iron Sky with the Nazis that come down from space.
Yeah, and now we've got more Nazis making Frankenstein creatures, and poor Russians get sacked in and caught in the middle of it. I was researching the trailers for this week. I was making a list of all of them, and as soon as I saw this, I just saw the poster for it. Didn't have to see anything. I saw we're talking about this one. Anthony's going to want to talk about this one. We'll put it down.
It doesn't look as good as Iron Sky did last year. I mean,
I'm sure we'll still end up watching it and loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone loved Iron Sky. Everyone I talked to about it was just like, it's rubbish of the highest order.
The catchphrase, "A man of vision is always misunderstood." And
that is a good one. But yeah, it was Frankenstein with, it's so bizarre.
It's just got
it's a big
movie, B movie written all over it.
It's a big B movie.
The bad guys are the Nazis, don't have to explain anything, and
they're evil.
Yeah. Well, they were.
Well, they were. Well, apparently they still are if they're living on the moon. If they're still living on the moon, like that.
The other week, last year, I saw a film called Nazis at the Centre of the Earth, where Hitler comes back.
How do these films even get made?
B movies. They're just you can't take them seriously.
Anyway, on to a much more serious and probably a bigger selling film than Frankenstein's Army is Only God Forgives.
This looks good.
This is just simple, straight up. This looks good. I want to talk about Frankenstein's Army for some more.
Yeah. The trailer didn't give away too much.
No, this is like
George you in, gives clues as to what goes on.
Yeah,
but it didn't give away too much.
I mean, this is the follow-up from, I can't remember his name, Nicholas Winding Refn, or however you pronounce his name, but he's the guy who made Drive, and we really like Drive.
Yeah.
We watched that last year for the show. And I know lots of people criticised it because it was like, it was all silent, moody, and all that sort of stuff.
That was good though.
It was good.
It was doing something different.
He was doing something very different, and we like that. And this one, he's got Ryan Gosling back.
Yeah.
And he's got Kristen Scott Thomas, who's always quite watchable. But I can only assume. I mean, this one looks like it's got a lot more talking in it compared to Drive. The one thing that worries me, it looks incredible. Like the visual style of it looks incredible, and I'm worried he's going to kind of let that ruin a story, because there looks like
there's Superman on it. Well, it looked great, but it was pants.
Oh yeah, because you've already seen Man of Steel. I haven't yet, but you've seen that, and I can imagine Zack Snyder doing the same thing. Like visuals take over, and the story kind of gets pushed to the back.
No, it wasn't. Sorry, but the Superman film.
No,
it just didn't. Anyway,
well, I still need to watch it. I still need to watch it, so we'll discuss that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can. Only God Forgives looked like it could suffer from being too kind of.
As long as it doesn't rely solely on the visuals, it's got potential.
Yeah, let's say. And it's coming out really soon, so I think like in a few weeks, maybe a month or so, we might have it on the show as well. We might have it reviewed on the show for you guys, which will be good fun. Because it said in the trailer July 19th, but I think that's an American date. That might be an American release date, so it might be
2 weeks after that.
Yeah, probably another week or two afterwards. It depends also what's out at the cinema. I mean, we know we got like the new Simon Pegg movie coming out. We got
The World's End.
Yeah, we got loads of stuff coming out over the next few weeks. I mean, it's a summer blockbuster season, so we got tons of stuff to watch. But yeah, definitely be watching that. I'll definitely be checking that out, and I'm sure you will. Well, if we're doing it for the show, we definitely will.
I can't. Yeah,
you can't say no. You're under contract. But yeah, moving on. Film I'm really excited about now, How to Train Your Dragon 2.
This was a good trailer. It was like a long clip.
I was surprised they classified it as...
Hiccup.
Yeah, it's like...
Hiccup. It's just a long
clip of him flying around, basically.
It didn't give away anything about the story, and didn't drag on.
And you haven't seen the first one either.
No.
Which I would recommend you see, because, all family animation can be a bit kind of cutesy and, it just kind of phases the background, but How to Train Your Dragon was really kind of heartwarming and kind of it was lovingly done. You can tell they were doing it, because they loved the idea of the story.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really fun film. It's one of the most exciting kind of family animations I've seen in quite some time. Yeah, definitely, including the one we're about to talk about as well. But yeah, definitely a good action film as well, more than anything else. And I'm really excited for the sequel, even though I don't know anything about it.
Well, they've got a third one lined up.
Apparently they do.
Well, that's a silly question, really, if they do a number 2.
Well, no, apparently they had a plot synopsis, and I didn't read it because I don't really want to know that much about it. I want to be more of a surprise when I go into the cinema. But it was saying, this is the second instalment in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. I was like, okay, I can kind of deal with that.
Trilogy, does give it away. And that takes us on to the next trailer.
Yep, well, we'll go straight on to that. What's the next one?
Filth.
Filth. Now this...
Based on a book written by Irvin Welsh.
Yeah, this looked really good. I don't know how I haven't heard of this until now, but Train Spotting, fantastic film. And Danny Boyle wants to make...
I think my favourite Danny Boyle film is still Shallow Grave.
Yeah, and that's Irvin Welsh as well, isn't it? You said that Irvin Welsh wrote that. But yeah, he's done Shallow Grave, he's done Train Spotting. He wants to make Porno, which is the sequel to Train Spotting. But this doesn't have anything to do with Danny Boyle, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
But yeah, this looks so ridiculous. It looks completely... Well, due to its title, it looks completely depraved and disgusting. And
is it James
McAvoy?
McAvoy plays the main character.
You would have seen in the new X-Men film. He was Professor Xavier, and he was in Danny Boyle's
The Last King of Scotland.
He was in The Last King of Scotland. He was in Danny Boyle's latest film, Trance.
Trance was weird.
And I haven't seen Trance yet. I really need to see Trance. But yeah, Filth looks so bizarre. Like I was watching the trailer. I was like, don't blink because I might miss something just completely weird. And I'm really excited for this film now. I didn't think I was before, but I am.
I'm not overly excited for it. It looks good. I'm curious about it, but I'm not.
You're not buzzing, are you?
Yeah, I'm not wetting my pants over.
No, I'm not pissing myself over this film. No. But well, that's obviously just me then. I mean, compared to some of the other trailers we've seen this week, like The Lifeguard and Still Mine and stuff like that. Like
Lifeguard was just
we've got like a huge list of trailers. I mean, I'll show you like the list of trailers we got. Like that's the list that we were gonna go. We were going from, and some of the ones we crossed out, some of the ones we considered, and yeah, like the ones we've got. I don't know, that we came up with like 8 or 9 trailers we wanted to talk about in the end.
Yeah,
and we had stuff like the Old Boy remake had a Red Band trailer out. We had Saving Mr. Banks, which was a weird Disney film
about Mary Poppins.
Yeah, about the story Out of the Furnace, like dealing with idiots.
Jugface.
Jugface was like weird. The 2-foot pit.
Yeah, Jugface. It's weird. All throughout the trailer, they're going, "Obey the pit. Do what it tells you."
The pit wants what it wants.
Then you catch a glimpse of the pit, and it's basically that deep.
So yeah, that was a weird one. And then you had like Seventh Son, which was Jeff Bridges.
Oh, doing Jeff Bridges' voice.
Jeff Bridges being old and manly. Like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, and the final trailer we decided to do, which isn't coming out in cinemas apparently.
Curse of Chucky.
Curse of Chucky, like a new
Child's Play
film. Yes. I mean, I haven't seen the original Child's Plays.
It looks like they've gone back to basics. I've seen the original trilogy.
I mean, I've seen Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky.
Seed of Chucky was awful.
Seed of Chucky was. Bride of Chucky is like, it's one of those kind of good horror films. It's funny and scary in equal measure, like kind of an Evil Dead 2 style thing.
Yeah, they put some effort into Bride of Chucky. I mean, I think the scariest Child's Play I've seen was number 2, where Andy goes to live with foster parents.
See, I have no idea, mate. I need to watch them, so.
It was dark.
But yeah,
and it was genuinely scary. And in this Curse of Chucky, it looks like they've gone back to basics.
It does look freaky, mainly because they've, everyone knows how Chucky looks. He's kind of the cut-up doll and all that sort of stuff.
I wasn't cut up in this one.
No, that's the thing. They've redesigned him, and he looks fucking freaky. He looks insanely scary. Like, I can imagine this being like a big hit. Like, I don't know why they don't put it in cinemas, because everyone still loves Chucky. Well, not for the right reasons.
No, but I mean,
I don't know why it's not in cinemas, to be honest. I mean, it's on like, what did they say? They're getting like an October Blu-ray release in the States.
Yeah, straight to DVD.
It's at the Fright Fest, Film 4's Fright Fest, film show in August, August 22nd. They said it was going to be there, but apparently, like, that's all it's going to get, and then they'll consider releasing it. But I think, like, I know we're doing cinema releases now, but I think we should pick that up.
Yeah, it looks...
Watch it. If we have a slow week of films...
It looks scary. I mean, the original Child's Play trilogy, 1 and 2 were scary. Number 3, story-wise, Andy, the boy, he's grown up. Well, he's a teenager, so it's not as scary as 1 and 2.
No, so yeah, it doesn't play on those kind of fears, does it?
No.
But yeah, like, the trailers we had this week were good. Again, Curse of Chucky looks terrifying.
So it looks like a sort of late, get your mates round, switch off the lights, that kind of film.
I always watch horror films alone. I don't know what it is. Like, if I watch a horror film with people, they seem to, most people, including myself, seem to kind of make it like laughter. They laugh at it more as a kind of maybe as a coping mechanism, but it seems to turn more into a comedy more than a horror.
Oh, you spot the flaws in it and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't like that, because horror is one of the best genres of films, in my opinion. Yeah. And if I watch a horror film alone, I think I'll most likely get what they want me to feel out of it, like what they're trying to scare me with.
The Skin I Live In, the film we watched last year, which
that's horrible.
That was,
and so would you have if you would watch that with a bunch of friends? Do you think it would have had the same impact on you?
I think the ending would. Because that's not an average ending.
That's not an average ending to a film, no. But I don't think, like, watching, if you've seen a horror film before, and you like, I would watch like Alien or any of the Alien films with my friends, because I've seen them quite a few times, and I would I know when the scares are coming up, but it's still entertaining. So you can watch it with a group of friends, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But if I'm seeing a horror film, especially new horror film, like for the first time, I want to kind of be on my own so I get that full experience.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Moving on to the next film.
Yeah, we'll move on to our second film of the week, Despicable Me 2.
This was good.
Yes, it was very good, wasn't it? I enjoyed myself.
It drag on, it moved at a really good pace. And yeah, I gave this 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, nice one. I only gave it a 7, simply because... I mean, I went to see it in the cinema, like, big Saturday daytime cinema, loads of kids, and like, surprisingly enough, I didn't get pissed off by the kids in the cinema, because you know how kids can be, they're shouting at all the wrong moments in films and all that sort of stuff. And this being a big family film, okay, but, you know, it was funny for everybody, all the kids and all the adults were laughing at different points and sometimes at the same moments. It's a good all-round family film. Only problem I have with it is... Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. The Minions, obviously the little yellow guys, they were so good in the first film, and they've obviously become a big sensation since then. The Minions are kind of dominant in this film. Literally, like,
they weren't dominant.
They were in it a lot, but everything kind of revolves around what they do, and like every 30 seconds you've got to kind of snip back to them and them doing something funny or them saying something funny. You know, all the trailers are geared towards them because I can see why they appeal to kids. They're silly little like gibberish talking, slapstick comedy guys. And I must admit, I find them really funny as well because they
were funny, not all the time, but they were funny.
But I disagree with that. But
sorry, I forgot to tell you the plot.
Yeah, there's a plot. This is my point. The plot kind of because of the Minions and they take over everything. The plot is somewhat just pushed aside. Like, you get like these little kind of sketch shows and stuff like that, and the plot kind of just pops its head up at the end and says, "All right, let's sort this out now."
No, I'd say the plot was pretty steady all the way through it. I'd say there was a balance of the Minions.
I didn't
playing to the camera.
I didn't feel that myself, but okay, fair enough. The plot, however, is now Gru
is recruited by the anti-villain
League
to deal with a new powerful villain.
So, I mean, you don't know who it is, and he has to try and find out who it is. Shit's falling apart in this room. What happened? The room's falling apart. But yeah, he has to fight. He has to kind of find out who this new villain is, and he gets and there's a kind of romance plot shoved in there as well.
Yeah, romance develops between Gru and the agent sent to help him.
Yeah, it's played by Kristen Wiig.
She did a good job.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the voice acting in this film is great. I mean, you've got Steve Carell doing a great he has the kind of hose pipe. I did not see you there. It's great.
I still don't see you.
Yeah. He's brilliant, and he's always good fun to watch, really. Or listen to in this case. You've got Kristen Wiig, you've got Steve Coogan, who's in it for a little bit as
Benjamin Bratt,
and you've got Russell Brand. I never realised, Dr. Nefario
was Russell Brand. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't, and apparently he's in it the first film as well. That's a good vocal range, really, because he plays this old 80-year-old man. But yeah, I mean, it's a good family film. Definitely one that, because you sometimes take, if you're taking children to these kiddie animated
child
films.
humour and adult humour in it. It flows really well, good pace. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 7, mainly because I thought the story was kind of just pulled back a little bit in favour of the Minions being, hey, look, we're funny, which they are. I like them.
No, I'd say there was a balance.
Yeah, we're going to go on about that for quite a while, aren't we?
But don't worry, Frankensteins Army is out soon.
Oh God! Actually, it is out really soon though. It's out July 26th or something.
A couple of weeks.
Oh God, we're going to watch that for the show, aren't we? We don't have to, technically. Actually, what am I saying? Of course we will. Of course we will.
I think that brings us to the end of the show.
It kind of does, yeah. A kind of average start, film-wise. We kind of had two averages. I mean, you really like Despicable Me.
I thought Despicable Me 2 was good. It was only an hour and a half. It could have been longer, but it didn't drag itself out. It was, got the story done, finished. That's it.
Yeah,
it was good.
As I said, with most films like that, you could if adults taking their kids to see it, they go, oh god, I have to sit through like an hour and a half of schmaltzy, childish rubbish. But no, there are good jokes for adults in there as well. And if you like some old-fashioned slapstick, like Looney Tunes slapstick kind of thing, then the Minions kind of serve that as well, and everything kind of. It has stuff for.
It's got something.
It sounds cliched, but it has something for all ages.
Yeah.
It does sound cliched.
They actually thought about not just the kids who go and see it.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, I think that does bring us to the end of the show. And we will see you next week with 2 brilliantly great films. I'm hoping the second one is, but we're going to have next week Pacific Rim and Monsters University. And I've already seen Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Oh, you will. You will enjoy Pacific Rim. But anyway,
it up. But anyway,
we will talk about this next week. Yeah, see you next week, guys. Great.